Picture this. You're a TV executive in the 90s and your hit show is ending. Do you create something new and original?
No!
You spin off literally anything if it means milking one last dollar from a successful franchise. Today, we're exploring 90s spin-offs that probably seemed brilliant in a boardroom and absolutely nowhere else. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button because we promise not to waste your time like these disasters did. Number 5. Time of Your Life. Spin-off of Party of Five. Party of Five was a powerhouse drama telling the story of 5 Salinger siblings forced to fend for themselves after losing their parents to a drunk driver.
Somebody ought to... Well, come on! Go on!
No, Charlie! No, Charlie! Charlie, stop it! Charlie, stop! No, Charlie! No! Stop it!
The show fearlessly addressed heavy topics like addiction and family trauma, even snagging a Golden Globe for Best Drama. The show also launched careers for future stars like Matthew Fox, Scott Wolf, Neve Campbell, Lacey Chabert, and of course, Jennifer Love Hewitt. But by the late 90s, Jennifer Love Hewitt had emerged as Party of Five's breakout sensation. Her character Sarah Reeves transformed from occasional girlfriend to core cast member. With Hewitt's film career exploding thanks to movies like I Know What You Did Last Summer, Fox executives spotted opportunity and made that timeless network blunder, ripping a beloved character from their ensemble family and thrusting them into solo stardom. So what happens when you transplant a cherished character from an acclaimed family drama into metropolitan life? In this case, Sarah formed new relationships, including with Romy, played by Jennifer Garner, and a quirky apartment superintendent Cecilia, played by Paulie Perrette. But stripped of the emotional foundation that Party of Five's ensemble provided, Sarah's character seemed lost in the urban jungle, much like the show itself. While Time of Your Life technically sneaks into our 90s countdown, debuting in October 1999 and meeting its doom in June 2000, it perfectly captures that late 90s executive mentality. Despite high production budgets, critics pointed out that the show was beautiful but completely hollow, all style, zero substance. Fox desperately tried to salvage Time of Your Life. When initial ratings tanked, they yanked the show for a 5-month overhaul. Upon its June 2000 return, they marketed it as part of their Summer of Love campaign. Get it? Jennifer Love Hewitt? Anyway, even this brilliant wordplay couldn't rescue the series. Fox axed it immediately after the comeback episode, with 7 episodes never even reaching American audiences, though European viewers eventually got to witness the carnage. But seriously, did anyone actually remember this show existed before we mentioned it? Leave a comment if you were among the dedicated few who followed Sarah's Manhattan misadventures. Or, if you had zero clue this was real, drop "What in the Fox was that?" in the comments below. Number 4. Highlander the Raven, a spin-off of Highlander the series. Highlander the series, built upon the movie franchise's mythology of immortal warriors who could only perish through decapitation. The show focused on Duncan MacLeod, a centuries-old immortal portrayed by Adrian Paul, as he balanced contemporary existence while engaging other immortals in the eternal game where ultimately only one can survive. When Highlander, the series, concluded its 6-season journey in 1998, producers faced a challenge. They possessed devoted fans, international funding, and a mythology that literally spanned millennia of potential stories. So naturally, they decided to test just how flexible that "there can only be one rule" really was by launching yet another spin-off. Welcome to Highlander the Raven.
She is immortal.
Which tracked Amanda, the immortal cat burglar turned reluctant hero, as she partnered with a former detective to battle crime and occasionally behead fellow immortals. Because nothing screams compelling television like a 1,200-year-old burglar developing a moral compass. This was clearly an attempt to capitalize on the female-led action trend popularized by shows like Xena and La Femme Nikita. Amanda worked wonderfully as a supporting character, but as the lead, the storytelling became confused quickly. It aspired to be Buffy meets Nikita, but landed somewhere closer to La Femme, why bother? Credit where it's due, Elizabeth Grayson's journey within the franchise is pretty remarkable. She was initially cast for a single guest appearance, but audience reaction was so enthusiastic that she became a fan favorite recurring character. Producers even developed 4 additional female immortals as potential leads before abandoning them and choosing Amanda because of, you guessed it, fan demand. The series filmed in Toronto and Paris through an international co-production arrangement. Behind the cameras, things weren't quite so glamorous. Grayson and co-star Paul Johansson, who portrayed brooding ex-detective Nick Wolfe, allegedly despised each other. Their complete lack of chemistry devastated the show, particularly since their partnership was supposed to drive the entire series. By the series finale, Wolfe gains immortality, abandons Amanda, and delivers a pretentious, melancholy speech that essentially murdered any hopes for the show's future. The sword combat remained solid. I mean, how do you ruin immortals wielding blades against each other? But fans didn't want moody side adventures, they wanted Duncan MacLeod. The show was terminated after 1 season, demonstrating that sometimes there genuinely can be only one successful franchise entry. Number 3. Team Knight Rider, a spin-off of Knight Rider. The original Knight Rider featured David Hasselhoff as Michael Knight, a high-tech vigilante partnered with Kit, an artificially intelligent, self-aware, and nearly invulnerable car. The show's combination of action, revolutionary technology for the 80s, and Hasselhoff's magnetic personality created a cultural sensation that dominated 4 seasons from 1982 to 1986. A decade later, as 80s action nostalgia was gaining momentum, producers pondered, what made Knight Rider successful? Was it the inspiring story of one individual changing the world? The magical chemistry between Hasselhoff and his AI companion? The sleek elegance of a single legendary vehicle? Their conclusion? Scratch that! Let's multiply everything by 5 and throw in more explosions. But you remember Kit? The awesome talking automobile from Knight Rider? Well, somebody concluded what audiences truly craved was 5 chattering vehicles, each with a personality more irritating than the previous one. Set years after Michael Knight's exploits, the show introduced an elite squad of drivers operating AI-enhanced vehicles to combat crime. There was Dante, an arrogant British-accented SUV, Domino, a flirtatious Mustang, Beast, a macho truck obsessed with Alanis Morissette, seriously, Cat and Plato, twin motorcycles, one uptight rule follower, and one quote-spouting intellectual. And yes, they never stop talking. Picture 5 malfunctioning voice assistants arguing while you're attempting to prevent a highway disaster. That's Team Knight Rider summarized. So why did it crash? Well, no Hasselhoff, no original Kit, and the AI vehicles possessed all the appeal of broken robot toys. The team concept diluted the coolness factor, and that 1997 computer graphics, let's just say it looked like it was created on a pocket calculator. The show aired alongside an action-packed programming block featuring cult classics like Hercules and Xena the Warrior Princess. But while those shows embraced their campiness, Team Knight Rider wrestled with awkward special effects and a cast that couldn't recreate the magnetism that made the original legendary. While fans still argue whether this was a spin-off or complete reboot, Team Knight Rider officially existed within the original continuity. It referenced Flag, mentioned Michael Knight, and even displayed background photographs of Devon Miles and Kit. Interestingly, the new vehicles were intentionally designed with weaknesses. After a rogue AI named Crow went haywire, Flag decided future cars should be destructible, unlike Kit's impenetrable molecular bonded armor, which sounds reasonable unless you're producing an action series. And here's something most viewers missed. Every primary vehicle was a Ford. The Expedition, Mustang, and F-150. Only the motorcycles weren't. Turns out, Team Knight Rider functioned as an extremely loud and obnoxious car ad. The finale hinted at the original Knight Rider's return. Spoiler alert. It never happened. Nothing. Zip. Nada. The show was cancelled faster than you could say turbo boost. Still with us? Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. We've got plenty more coming your way. Now, let's keep this countdown rolling with number 2, 704 Hauser, a spin-off of All in the Family. All in the Family transformed television in the 1970s with its brutal examination of American bigotry through Archie Bunker, a prejudiced blue-collar man perpetually battling his progressive son-in-law. The the revolutionary sitcom tackled subjects previously forbidden on TV, including racial discrimination, sexual orientation, and the Vietnam War. By 1994, Norman Lear, the brilliant mind behind All in the Family, was observing a dramatically different America than the one where Archie Bunker first ranted 2 decades prior. Recognizing a chance to address the evolving political climate, Lear returned to television's most famous address with an ingenious variation on his original formula. Picture taking one of TV's most revolutionary sitcoms and declaring, "Let's repeat this, but reverse everything." That's precisely what Lear attempted with 704 Hauser in 1994. Located in Archie Bunker's former residence, yes, that exact house, this spin-off showcased a black family with progressive parents and their conservative Republican son. Ring any bells? It was All in the Family, but with the political tensions completely inverted. John Amos starred as Ernie Cumberbatch, a liberal civil rights advocate who battled with his right-wing son, Goody, portrayed by T.E. Russell, and future ER star Maura Tierney played Goody's Jewish girlfriend. It introduced an interracial romance element that felt like a bargain basement version of the classic Archie versus Meathead conflicts. CBS hoped to recreate the original's brilliance, but magic rarely strikes the same place twice. The show felt like a weak imitation, constantly reminding audiences of a superior program they could be re-watching instead. That definitely didn't help. Even with John Amos leading the charge, viewers stayed away. 704 Hauser was axed after only 5 episodes reached the airwaves. But here's the real kicker. This marked Norman Lear's 5th attempt to expand the All in the Family universe. We received Maude, The Jeffersons, followed by Archie Bunker's Place, Gloria, and finally 704 Hauser. By the time this last one surfaced in 1994, it felt less like a spin-off and more like television flop. There's ongoing debate about whether 704 Hauser even qualifies as a genuine spin-off. While it featured primarily fresh characters, the pilot did include Joey Stivich, Archie's grandson and Gloria's son, played by Casey Siemaszko. Despite this connection, some consider it more of a reboot or spiritual successor, but Lear clearly intended it as a continuation. Identical house, same address, and plenty of Bunker family history. What's your take? Spin-off or reboot? Share your thoughts in the comments. Number 1. Saved by the Bell, The College Years. So here we are at the top of our list, and look, we all knew this was coming. The College Years didn't just fail as a spin-off, it practically killed the entire franchise. Before Higher Education, Saved by the Bell dominated as the quintessential teen sitcom of the early 90s. A Saturday morning institution packed with vibrant personalities, fourth wall breaks, and after-school special moments that always resolved perfectly within 22 minutes. So when Zach and company graduated, NBC reasoned, why not follow them to college? They chose to follow Zach, Slater, and Screech to California University and relocate the show to prime time, wagering that fans who matured alongside these characters would continue their journey. The concept seemed foolproof. The characters were growing up, so naturally the show should mature with them, right? But those zany high school pranks that worked so perfectly at Bayside felt completely out of place in a college setting.
I've got to get rid of this girl tonight, so tomorrow morning I'm going to go bungee jumping without the bungee.
And Zach, well, Zach Morris remained problematic. His manipulative charisma never matured beyond high school. In college, he became that one group project partner who does zero work but somehow gets equal credit. The kind of person you'd fake a family emergency to avoid. Something still wasn't working, so NBC threw in some curveballs. Former NFL player Bob Golick became their resident advisor, and Tony Award nominee and future Emmy winner Holland Taylor was cast as the razor-sharp Dean McMahon. Apparently, they believed a linebacker and a Broadway legend would provide the show some adult credibility. Spoiler alert, they were wrong. Without Mr. Belding's guidance or the complete cast dynamic, since Kelly didn't arrive until mid-season and Jesse and Lisa were entirely missing, the show couldn't establish its identity. And while they were busy adding fresh faces, the show got blindsided by another crisis, scheduling warfare. The leap from Saturday mornings to Tuesday night primetime positioned the college years against powerhouses like Full House and Rescue 9/11. The audience that once tuned in during cartoon programming had different routines by dinner time. So NBC terminated the college years after just one season. To conclude the storyline, they produced a TV movie called Saved by the Bell, Wedding in Las Vegas, reuniting the core cast, Zach, Kelly, Slater, Screech, Lisa, Jesse, and Mr. Belding. The film ended with Zach and Kelly's Las Vegas wedding, because nothing represents higher education quite like eloping in Vegas before final exams. As for the Bayside crew today, Mark Paul Gosselaar evolved from Zach Morris to star in series like NYPD Blue, Franklin and Bash, and most recently as the primary antagonist in NBC's Found. Mario Lopez transformed his Slater appeal into a thriving career as an entertainment host and television personality. Elizabeth Berkley appeared in films like Showgirls before returning to television, while Tiffany Thiessen discovered post-Bayside success on 90210 and later on USA's White Collar. The cast has remained remarkably tight-knit, frequently reuniting for meals and special events, proving that sometimes television friendships genuinely survive beyond the final bell. And there you have it, 5 spin-offs that crashed and burned in spectacular fashion. Look, these weren't just bad shows, they were basically focus groups gone wrong, proof that network executives had absolutely no clue what audiences actually wanted. Surprise! We really didn't want any of this. So be honest, did any of you actually watch these flops when they first aired? No judgment here, we swear. Which one takes the crown for most beautifully awful? And hey, if we missed any other 90s spin-off train wrecks that deserve the spotlight, drop them in the comments for a future deep dive. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.